All right, folks, we're back in the lab. We have a new project here. This is a Defiance cold blast. You can barely see it. Cold blast. There. And this is very cool, very big lantern. And this one's very cool to me because it's property of City of Rochester. But there's a repair. Needs some soldering done. This was right up in here. You can see the remnants of the solder here. It looks like the solder was removed. That can't be the case. So we're gonna clean this up. I'm gonna clean all around there. Before we clean the whole thing, I want to get this repair out of the way because I may need to fix the gross soldering job that I did. And I gotta find a way to hold this in place. I may just let this whole mechanism hold it in place rather than try to take it out of this mechanism. Because soldering is very basic. I mean, you got solder, you got flux, you got a heat source. Now you just gotta clean it up proper and get all the contaminants off it. And we got some acetone put on there and things. Okay. All right, let's get all set up to try this soldering job. All right, so I'm pulling this thing apart, and I'm putting this like this to remind myself when it comes to reassembly that this looped around here, came back over, and that was right there. And that was right there. So I should have you around for this too, since I'm taking this burner off. And that is, something's holding that on with for dear life. I'm wondering, I'm not sure what part of it's binding up in there, but we'll lube it up. Try it out. Let's see what's holding it there. Hold on a sec. So we just got to move this to the left about a half an inch. That's the notch. There we go. That did it. Good. Force stir a little bit. Ooh, Nelly. What in God's name? That is pantyhose with a pin in it, stuffed in there for a wick. What? So they tried connecting, they used it for, not to burn, but for the wick. So they didn't have enough wick at the bottom to go down into the kerosene, so they pinned. Wow. How about that? Never seen that. That's 1 inch wick. Okay, so that's out. That's going to clean up perfect. It's beautiful shape. Okay, so I kind of set things up here. I'm going to try to get a lot of it off with the torch. And let's try. Oh. I got this pie plate under here so I don't burn my cutting board. That's working. There we go. Ow. Oops. There's a method to this madness of roll of Gorilla Tape holding this thing down. Oh, there's a nest of something catching fire inside this baby. Something had a nest. And there's WD-40 in there. I can smell that burn. Okay. There you can see there's the bare tin under there. Probably hasn't seen daylight in 100 years. Okay, we got the big chunks off. Now I can peek in there with a flashlight and find out what is that caught fire. It looks like a bunch of insects. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, let's do a little Dremel here. Clean up the surface even more. Okay. And there's just bits of solder left there that I'm sure will be liquefied when we do this. And I see there's a little dent in here and a little pull here. That's probably what caused this to break off. I don't think I need to do anything on this side, but I'm going to take a look. Just to make sure we got a good adherence surface. I'm going to have to clean all this stuff off anyway for restoration. You like it when I stop like that just to talk? Is that annoying? Getting warm. Friction, baby. All right, first I just discovered something that this is a very old cold blast that there's new things on here for me to see. I had encountered a setup like this on something once before, but the bottom of this was welded. So I'm hoping that this is going to help me here and get this globe guard off of here. And it looks good. Oh, that's great. That's great. What a big help. Oh, what a big help that is. All right, good. And this will slide around a lot easier once I get a lot of this crap off of here. Okay, well, might as well get this stuff now. I'm gonna get it sooner or later. Oh, I have it. I got the Dremel in my hand. This is gonna really, this lantern's gonna clean up nice. I mean, there's just no. Metal's so clean. So I'll get what I can on the big wheel and then we'll hit it again with this small brush. Okay, we'll be back. All right, so I got, boy, this really cleaned up super. And this later in the restoration, we'll take care of all this, but that's great, 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 great. This, awesome. Okay, we are positioned. That's right where we want it. Right there. And I'm assuming that I can get all the solder I want on it from this one side, because I get some flux. All right, so first the acetone for cleaning it up. Like I said, acetone. We're going to clean all these surfaces off real good with some acetone. And that stuff is dries right up like, well, it's alcohol. Okay. And we'll get some flux. That's a little heavy. It's all coming back to me now. Alright, little flux on here, and most importantly the back of here, right along here is where that's solder is going to seat. Because this is a big pressure point. It's a lever. It's holding a lever. Okay. Solder is really thin, so it disappears real quick. That stuff's just too small. Nice. Oh, good. I like the gravity of that. Good, good, good. There you go. There you go. That's what I want. I think we've done it. I gotta get a closer look at this one little spot right here. Might be a little light. Yeah, it's a little light there. All right, a little more. All right. Let's see what we did here, folks. I think that'll clean up just fine. Get a Dremel on that and kind of blend it all together. And you can see where the old solder is out here. All right, I see one little spot right up here on top, which is a high stress point. So I'm gonna stick a little more right there. Perfect. See, my problem is I say perfect and then I keep touching it. There, I could see it working its way down the crack, and I flipped it over and looked, and I could see right where all the flux was. It all came out right where it should. So I think we've got a really good bond here. All right, let's continue. Let's first get this bail off, because this is a very tall lantern, and this bail, oh my gosh. This bail would just be in the way every 5 seconds. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, that was on there with some force. Oh, that's better. All right. Put that on the wheel a little later. By the way, I just did that on the wheel real quick. And the only reason I did that is because I know my last, I don't know, half a dozen videos have been really long. They've been like an hour long. And I don't know if that's a good idea for YouTube to have videos that long for something like this. So I've kind of taken the wheel work out of the videos. Just to test and see, you guys say you want that put back in, then I'll do that. But if you want to see, how I polish stuff up and grind stuff up on the large grinding wheel on the bench grinder over here, look back at a couple videos and you'll see how I do it, because I filmed a lot of it. So that's why I didn't do that. But okay, so let's bail off. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the wheel, the big wheel. But first, we want to make sure. I think we're golden here. Yeah. And there was a little bow here, which obviously happened. Whatever caused this to come off, something that pushed it this way, pulled the little lip off this air tube here and kind of separated it a little bit. And I pounded it back very gently with a rubber mallet. It went back in, and I mean, there's still a little bit there, but it's a lot better than it was. And you can see where the solder came out the bottom. Look at that, good seam. There's a good full connection all the way around there. And that's from making sure you clean it good. And I feel good about that. I mean, this will clean up. We'll make this all kind of match. And this is not solder. This is actually the metal of the lantern. Here. So, I am going to take this to the grinding wheel. We'll be able to get this surface here. It's such a big, I can't touch everything with that, with the grinder, but I'll be able to get that and this outer edge, this and this. And oh, I see that there is, looks like must have been a wasp nest up in there. And I still got to determine what was in that air tube that burned up when we were heating this up. Hopefully that air tube's not clogged. That's another thing I haven't done yet, is try unclogging. I don't have an air compressor, unfortunately. I got a bicycle pump, but that ain't gonna cut it. All right, so let's let's move on to this. I mean, this is going to clean up nice. I think this is going to be pretty, and this is another one of them lanterns that are going to stay in my collection because I'm a Rochester boy, and I like the connection. Okay. Let's continue, and I'll be back after some grindage. Some grindage. All right, I'm going to show you some of the progress here, and you can see I've just done the sides of the fount, and found some solder from a leak fix in the fountain here, right in the front. No other surprises hidden under stuff yet. But this thing is so big, there's not much of it I can get underneath the wheel, you can see. So I get to about, I don't know, halfway point there, and the rest, the inside will do with the Dremel. And I was going to work on the top, but I realized I didn't take the crown off. This gigantic coffee saucer size crown, so let's pop that off right now. Boy, gigantic crown. It's got these little tiny tabs. All right. Came off like a dream. Let's look down in there. Okay, no more wasp nests. Made in USA. All right, I'm gonna put that on the grinder, and then I'll finish this, and then we'll come back and start working on the rest. My favorite part is watching the letters pop that are buried underneath stuff. That's a good time. Okay, be right back. Okay. So, the crown came out wonderful. Good. Got that's that. So we got this to Dremel up. I'm gonna play in this little spot for just a second, just because I want to see how we can get this all to blend together. Yeah, just kind of round off. Because of the softness of the solder, you can kind of soften it up. It's interesting. Here's a big spot of the air tube here. How that's the tin, and it's been hidden underneath a glob of solder for 100 years, so it hasn't been weathered like this metal right here. Pretty neat. Yeah, I am happy with that solder job. That's great. That's a big relief for me, because I've seen a couple lanterns here that could use a little soldering to reinforce things. All right, that's great to see that coming out the back, as I put all the solder on from the other side. So this got down in the cracks and find out where it needed to go, so where I put the flux. It's all coming back to me now. And this will just look like ordinary cleaned off factory. I don't know if that looks factory or not. Well, we'll see. What do you think? That looks factory? It'll look more factory once we got the rest of this lantern done. Dremel's getting hot, so I think I'm gonna call it for the night and come here in the morning and finish this up. We are not far from a really cool lantern with a really cool solder job. Yeah, now that all the other factory solder is exposed, you can't even tell. You can't even tell something happened there. All right, this is gonna come out real pretty. And I keep pushing dust around too, and I'm gonna, after washing the heck out of my hands, I'm gonna wet rag this and get rid of a lot of this dust. I'm just kind of pushing it around, and it's still sticking to the metal, kind of static cling kind of thing going on. And so it's hard for me to tell where I've dremeled already. So I just get some of this stuff off of here. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Yes, tomorrow's going to show up just like this. All right, just like that. It's the next day. Here we are, and I happen to notice something right away. I just cleaned this bale on the big wheel yesterday, and it's already oxidized because it's 97% humidity here today. Yeah, and I can just, with my finger, just wipe off the oxidation just from overnight. That's why you gotta treat your stuff, man. Look at that. Yeah, see? All right. How about that? Wow. It is humid. Okay, so let's move on here. Yeah. Well, that's how you learn. That's why you think you're hunting down a bargain on Amazon and end up with that. Yeah, all this started to oxidize again already. So I am going to finish this up And we're going to treat these right away, rather than wait to do it all when we're done with the other things. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty much done with this. Sign the brass. Okay, so we're going to steel wool these things now and get them treated and out of the way so we don't have to think about it. Okay, let's get a little oil, linseed oil on this stuff. And I'm gonna leave it on there nice and heavy, just like that, until assembly, and I'll wipe off the excess. See how this changes the character of the metal? Yeah, sure does. Tis a window to the soul. Smells like an antique mall in here. Well, I just came from an antique mall, but the fact is it's the linseed oil that's used for old furniture and things. Okay. This is always my final step before treating the metal. Okay. All right. Okay, let me see these little areas. Trying to see what tool I'm gonna need to get at them. Try this a little bit. I don't think any of these areas will be noticeable once I put some oil on it. It's going to change characteristics a lot. All right. Let's treat this. Let me get all the steel wool dust and things off here, and then we'll treat it. All right. See how she looks. Kind of exciting to watch the real character of the metal come out once you put something on it. Something I talked about in the last video about this linseed oil, where I think I should put it on liberally with a paintbrush. The reason I'm not doing that with a paintbrush, oh, see, that's wax. Putting it on liberally with a paintbrush and then wiping all the excess off, but I don't have any brand new brushes to attempt that with. Next, probably when I go to retreat all my lanterns, so I'll do it that way. But I'm trying to get in every spot. Yeah, wow, really shows. Shows the imperfections, but that's okay. She's an old girl. She's got character lines. Oh, geez. I forgot about that wasp nest up in there. Well, luckily this is staying with me and I'm not sending it off to somebody. What is coming out? And I think there's some bits of that wasp nest coming out through an air tube in the bottom here. Oh yeah, see that? Actually, that looks like that came out of the fount. Got to get this up here because it'll all stick to the oil. All right. Where was I? Oh, jeez. I just poured it a far too great amount of oil on this rag. Oh, it sure does look pretty, but still too much shine on it for me. That's why we're gonna get a cleaner rag. Okay. All right. There, that's the amount of shine I like right there. Just kind of a dull satin. Oh, you know what I need is my trusty bamboo stick. I don't know where it is, but there's a substitute. I can get in this little crevice here. One of those elusive spots for Dremel work and for treatment and for sanding and for steel wooling. Just can't get in that little spot. All right. Of course, there's cat hairs showing up as I'm sticking to the oil here. Yeah, this looks great. Very happy. I knew this was going to clean up real nice, but I was a little worried about the solder job. And if I would have just bought this, I would not have known that that was a repair. It just looks like factory solder. Not the best factory solder, but I've seen worse. Of course, what I thought was worse factory solder may have been a repair. You just never know. Okay. I need to get a much cleaner, untouched by feline hands rag to give this one final wipe down, because I do my little glamour shot there. It's just gonna be nothing but hairs in the scene. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay. Now we'll reassemble. I really love these much older lanterns because there's just less and less mechanisms to get back together. All right, first off, we're going to put the crown back on. Don't know how well I'm going to do that with you and I both being able to see it, but we'll try. Sorry. One, two, three, four. Where are you? All right. I will give these a little tap, tap, taparoo with the ball peen hammer once I get it off the table here and further away from the camera. All right, hold on one sec. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, crown is on. Now, this should be quite simple. Famous last words. Okay. can again use my trusty bamboo. See what I'm doing there? Pressing that little thing down without putting tool marks in it. All right, good. Well, that doesn't look too super. I'm gonna try the big pliers. See if I can press that down a little bit. Yeah, I just can't quite get the leverage I want, but it did do better. All right. But there you go, yeah. Need it a little bit loose for that hinge effect because it's not really a hinge. Okay. They're in there. Well, let's put some wick in here. I don't think I have 1-inch wicks. Let's take a look. Pretty sure I got 7/8, not 1 inch. And we're not going to put that back in there. Well, this will work. This'll do. About 8 inches. It's going to look mighty fine. Doesn't seem to be all that great a fit. I don't know if I have a feeling this could be incorrect burner. I mean, it's fitting and everything, but not like it should, I don't think. Okay. A bale. Big pliers again. This is okay. Now, the globe. All right. Let me bring these in a little bit so they grab onto that globe a little better. All right. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, is a Defiance Cold Blast number 2. Property of City of Rochester, and Defiance lanterns were made in the City of Rochester. I love this Rochester branded stuff. All right, great. So I'll bring you down to another angle here and we'll take a close look at what we did here. All right, here we have it, folks. Looks great. Match striker right there. So you would just strike your match, flip this up, right down there, hit the wick. Oh, look at the action. Okay. All right, folks, that's it. And until our next project, in fact, I'm looking at it, it's in a box on the floor right here. That'll be our next project. Big surprise. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, folks. As usual, don't you go change it. With some acetone.